Hey do-gooders, does it hurt to get braces and expanders? Well, buckle up. Time for some PFOing so you know where you're going. I'm your local orthodontist answering your questions about orthodontics and life. I'm the guy. So our tooth discussion for today is, does it hurt to get expanders and braces? I get this question regularly, no matter what we're doing. Does that hurt? Okay, so I decided that because braces and expanders are things that most people know about or know of, decided to share a few thoughts about braces and expanders and does it hurt? Let's start with braces. Remember. Braces typically have two major components, brackets and wires. First, to glue brackets onto teeth, the orthodontic assistant or orthodontist might put in some cheek retractors. Now these help keep the lips and the tongue away from your teeth. In case you didn't hear that, the interpretation is, actually orthodontists are very good at interpreting cheek retractor talk. It's a legitimate language. I know you know. We put these in first to pull away the lips and the tongue and the cheeks from the teeth. Start the drying process for the teeth. We don't want any spit, otherwise it's going to compromise the glue. Then we might scrub the teeth to get rid of any plaque buildup on the teeth. We want the tooth to be clean before we put glue on it. Then we'll wash the tooth with a special gel and water. Now, I wanted to show this gel because it looks kind of scary. Kind of looks like a needle, like you would get for a shot to get numb, but it's not. It's got this blue stuff in there and it just goes on the tooth like this. It goes like this. You squeeze it out. There it goes. Okay, yeah, see that? We're just squirting it out. Ooh. And then you let it sit there for a little bit. Okay, we just put it on the tooth like that. That goes on all the different teeth that you want to bracket on. And then, once you're done with it, you rinse it off, suck it off with some suction, or with a cotton roll, you can wipe it off, and then you rinse it off with water. We happen to have a cotton roll here, and so we're gonna show. We're just gonna wipe it off like that, whoop, and then you try not to get it on everything else too. Now we're all clean. Like I said, once you get off that blue stuff, then you can spray it off. We try really hard not to get the blue stuff onto your gums or your lips, your tongue. It doesn't feel very good there. Maybe a little burny. Be very still and let them put that on there, and then they'll suck it off, rinse it off, wipe it off, and we move on to the next step. Again, don't worry. This gel, putting this on, it won't hurt like this. Then we dry it. Don't worry, we don't use fire, because that wouldn't feel good, like this. Then we take some of this, it's like a little solution, and we pour it out just a little bit, and we put this small brush, this is actually really small, we take some of that, almost like fingernail polish, okay? And we polish it onto the different teeth that are dried and ready for brackets. Then we get our bracket holder that should have a bracket with glue on it, and then we take it and we push it right onto the tooth where we want the brackets, all of these, okay? We put it all on. That's kind of like putting pressure onto your fingernail. You can feel it like that if you push. That's kind of what it feels like. Then we use our instrument. It's called a scaler, right? We use this to clean off some of the glue around the bracket that might be extra. And then we use this to direct or position the bracket onto the tooth into the right spot that we want. Finally, when everything looks good, we take a bright light and we shine it on the bracket. Don't look at the light.
Don't look at the light! I can't help it. It's so beautiful.
Don't worry, looking at the light for just a little bit, if it shines in your eyes, you're not gonna die, okay? But good advice not to look at it for a long period of time. The light helps the glue get hard so that it sticks to the teeth. Once the light is done, after a full cure, you should be ready to eat and do things like normal. The glue is as hard as it's gonna be with a light curing glue. Voila, we've done it. We've now successfully attached a bracket or brackets to the teeth, assuming that there's no secret spit that mixed in with the glue. We should have a full mouth of brackets that are ready to stay on your teeth and help move your teeth. Okay, so that's the brackets. What about the wires? Well, once you've got the brackets on, you have to put the wires into place. The wires that connect through the brackets all the way around your teeth. That's what really helps move the teeth into proper position. In order to get those wires into the brackets, the orthodontist or the assistant will likely need to use some of the pliers that we've talked about in previous episode to cut and size and position the wires in proper places. Don't worry, when they're cutting the wires, it won't hurt like this. We have lots of different sizes and types of wire. The smaller and more flexible the wire, usually it's a little bit easier to get those into position. We also have some larger, more rigid wires. Those can be a little bit more pokey and harder to get into position. You may or may not be using a line from Flynn Rider after you get one of these large wires in.
Oh, mama, I have got to get me one of these.
So regardless of the type of wire or the size of the wire that's being put into your mouth, sometimes the wires can poke your cheeks while they're putting it in, or the pliers that they're using can bump into your teeth or your gums in your cheek, and that can feel kind of weird and uncomfortable. Generally speaking though, there shouldn't be anything that we do on purpose that will hurt when we put braces and wires into your mouth. So the process of putting braces and wires in shouldn't hurt. What about after the braces are on? Once the braces go on and the wires start working, your teeth might start to feel a little bit sore. You could consider taking Tylenol or ibuprofen to help manage the soreness. Also, your cheeks, your lips, your tongue, it's all gonna be new feeling all that metal in your mouth. And so it may require a couple days, maybe more, for your tissue to toughen up so that you can manage the unique feelings in your mouth. At some point during your orthodontic journey though, those braces and wires, they just become part of your mouth and you start noticing it less. So don't worry too much. Some of the initial shock or the initial feelings kind of go away over time. All right, how about expanders? We haven't talked too much about expanders yet, and there's all sorts of different types. I've got a picture for you. In our office, we use a kind or a type of expander known as the Haas expander. And that's what we're gonna talk about a little bit today. The different expanders, including the Haas expander, has different components, but by the time we're ready to put it in your mouth, it's usually just one piece, one big piece that gets glued into your mouth. When the expander is ready to be delivered into your mouth, first, we're probably gonna put it into your mouth to check and see that it fits. So we're gonna push it up on the top of those teeth. Once the expander fit is confirmed, we'll take the expander back out and begin the process of preparing the teeth and the expander to be glued in, kind of like when we did the braces. Typically, the expander is glued to some of your back permanent teeth. Although sometimes we use expanders that are glued to teeth in front of that, typically baby teeth. Sometimes we don't use the back teeth and we use baby teeth in front of those permanent molars if you still have them. When we push the expander into place, sometimes you might feel a little bit of pressure around your gums. It could be like a pinchy feeling if the gums are in the way. Usually, once you're pushing that ring, that expander down into around the tooth that it's supposed to hook onto, those gums just move out of the way. So the process of putting an expander in also shouldn't hurt. Now, what about once the expander is in? Well, when the expander is in, you start turning the expander. There's a screw in there, as you saw in the photos, remember? You turn that and that's what pushes your teeth apart. That's how you get the expansion. So it wouldn't be crazy if you felt a little bit of pressure on your teeth, by your nose or your cheeks as you turn. Depending on how much you turn, you may or may not feel as much pressure. Also, depending on how old you are, you may feel more or less pressure. Again, this pressure doesn't last the whole time, just like tooth soreness doesn't last the whole time during braces. Usually it's that initial pressure that causes some soreness, and then that dissipates or goes down so that you don't feel that the whole time. Okay, in summary, generally speaking, putting braces and expanders on, those processes, nothing about those processes should hurt. Nothing should hurt when you do braces and expanders, when you put them in. That being said, to move teeth with braces or with expanders requires pressure, and when the body feels the pressure, it responds with soreness. Also, with the new appliances in your mouth like braces, metal braces, or expanders, your gums and your tissues have to adapt to the new irritations in your mouth. They have to toughen up, and they will. Don't worry.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Of course, if something is really hurting and you're concerned, ask your provider. They can help you. All right, do-gooders, on to the do good, live good. let's talk about hurt or pain. No one likes things that hurt. Why do we hurt? Hurt or pain can be emotional, physical, spiritual, mental. Pain can represent the following. It can help us recognize injury or if something's not right about our body or our mind. This happened to me. I had an emergency appendicitis because the intense pain down in my abdomen area helped my mom and dad recognize that something wasn't right and that I should be evaluated. Sometimes when something is hurt, it's our internal warning system telling us that we shouldn't do something. Like when you stick your hand in the flame of a fire and you feel the pain, you pull it back out and recognize that you shouldn't do that or it's going to hurt, maybe lead to more permanent injury. Pain is not always felt just with the initial injury. Sometimes pain can be felt through the healing process as well. Emotionally and mentally speaking, it hurts to say sorry or admit that you're wrong sometimes.
I'm sorry.
But it's an important part of getting better. Pain can also help us recognize growth and progress, like sore teeth or muscles. These represent change, movement, progress, hopefully things getting better. I'm not saying that we should seek out pain. Hopefully we make good decisions so that we avoid unnecessary pain and hurt. People who live good learn that pain and hurt is a fundamental part of life and continuously try to grow from it. Andy Grammer feels the same way. He says, I wish you pain. Hope you enjoy. Drink it up, just a little PFOing so you know where you go. Packard out.
I hope your doubts come like monsters and terrorize your dreams. I hope you feel the lonely hopelessness, cause no one else believes. I hope you question whether you ever really had a chance at all. I hope your fears stick like poison that gets into your blood. I hope you push until you cannot breathe. It's still not enough. I hope you put your life out on the line and everybody watches while you fall. Cause I love you more than you could know, and your heart it grows every time it breaks. I know that it might sound strange, but I wish you pain. Wish you pain. It's hard to say, but I wish you pain. I hope people break their promises, leave you in the cold. I hope they beat your heart to pieces, worse than you've ever known. I hope you finally arrive, only to find you nowhere close. I hope you cry and tears come streaming down your face. I hope this life tries you and more than you thought you could ever take. I hope the help you want never comes and you do it on your own. Cause I love you more than you could know, when your heart it grows every time it breaks. I know that it might sound strange, but I wish you pain. Wish you pain. It's hard to say, but I wish you pain. I love you more than you could even know. I've been here before and I just wanna see you grow. I swear it goes by a different name. I know that it might sound strange, but I wish you pain.